In a concerning incident that has captured significant attention, law enforcement in South Carolina has confirmed they are looking into a fire that severely damaged the residence of a state judge, as well as that of a former Democratic state senator. However, authorities have stated that there is currently no evidence to suggest that this fire was deliberately ignited. The blaze occurred on Saturday at a beach house located in Edisto, resulting in 3 individuals being hospitalized due to injuries. Public records indicate that the property belongs to Circuit Court Judge Diane Goodstein and her spouse, Arnold Goodstein, who previously served as a Democratic state senator. At this stage, the cause of the fire remains a mystery. A representative of the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, SLED, reported to NBC News that the investigation is still in progress and will continue, hinting that additional information may emerge as the inquiry unfolds. SLED Chief Mark Keel later emphasized that, at this time, there is no evidence to indicate the fire was intentionally set, explaining that preliminary findings have not uncovered any indications of a pre-fire explosion either. Keel's remarks came along with a call for responsible reporting, urging citizens, elected officials, and the media to refrain from disseminating unverified information. Interestingly, no charges have yet been filed, as the FBI's Columbia Field Office has stated they are aware of the situation, although SLED is taking the lead in the investigation. Should the analysis determine that the fire was indeed set maliciously, it could potentially attract federal charges. Although the specific cause of the fire is yet to be identified, political tensions are palpable. Some Democrats have pointed fingers at the political right, especially considering that Judge Goodstein had recently ruled against the Trump administration's efforts to acquire state voter records. This incident has ignited a flurry of accusations, particularly in light of increasing threats directed at judges in this politically charged year, which has already seen notable instances of political violence, including the tragic assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, an event for which the right was quick to blame the left. In a statement shared on social media, Representative Daniel Goldman, a Democrat from New York, charged that former President Donald Trump, together with his administration and supporters, has been doxing and threatening judges who cast unfavorable rulings, with Judge Goodstein included in this group. He linked the fire to the so-called extreme right, despite the lack of clarity on what sparked the blaze. Responding to Goldman's accusations, Stephen Miller, who served as Trump's deputy chief of staff, defended himself and the administration, asserting that Goldman was casting despicable lies in this situation. Meanwhile, a staff member for California Governor Gavin Newsom remarked that an official from the Justice Department, Harmeet Dhillon, had publicly targeted Judge Goodstein only weeks prior. After Judge Goodstein's temporary ruling against the state delivering voter information to the Justice Department, Dhillon took to social media to express her belief that the Justice Department would not tolerate what she perceived to be a state court judge's aggressive dismissal of federal voting mandates. Though Dhillon did not explicitly name Goodstein, her remarks were interpreted as a direct criticism. Subsequently, the South Carolina Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Trump administration, lifting the judge's temporary order. Dhillon has since dismissed any connection between her rhetoric and the fire incident, stating that the post from Garden has led to threats being directed at her, which she takes seriously. In a post on social media, she mentioned, "Threats against me are referred to the U.S. Marshals. There have been several tonight. We will tolerate no such threats by woke idiots, including those who work for Gavin Newsom." She concluded her message by advising her followers to behave appropriately in light of the current climate. Furthermore, Dhillon shared a post from a colleague condemning the conflation of civil discourse with violent actions as reckless, shameful, and outright disgusting. As new developments in this story emerge, one can't help but wonder, are we witnessing the intersection of political tensions and public safety? Or should we hold off on jumping to conclusions until we know more? Join the conversation below. What are your thoughts on this unfolding situation?